Okay, so this is project 2, scenario 1, where we are a junior security analyst. Um, we have two subnet networks and a network 3 plus a server main, a server router, and a subnet router. You should also in the shared document have a Excel sheet with the IP addresses and everything provided for us on that, including the scenario here. Let's see. So realistically, you can make and lay out your network however you want. I'm just gonna do it how I did mine. I do have OCD and a couple other things, so I'm gonna do it how I want it. But for this, let's see. Organize the essential components required in the given minimum so they can collectively be a functional system. IP networking, subnet mask, DHCP, and NAT and PAT protocol. And then you guys can explain your relation stuff here. I'm just going to go over how to actually set up everything. So, I am going to start with that, take that out. I'm going to make this bigger just for now. I'm going to delete every single connection and make them my own later. Let's see. Okay, so obviously we're only going to need one switch, so you could delete the second subnet switch. And then I am also going to delete all these connections while I'm at it, because we're also going to redo those. Okay, so select, and this is where I was saying you can do it however you like. I like everything organized, so I'm just going to do how I would prefer it to be. So, and ironically, I made that into a heart, and I did not plan on doing that, but whatever. I'm just going to use a copper straight through pipe, fast Ethernet 0, and then I'm going to put the printer main and secondary on port 23 and 24. But you can also choose whatever you want. And then I'm going to start the PCs with port 1 and go through to 8. And I do rename these PCs all to network A only because this is now network A instead of subnet 1. And I'm just going to copy this just so I can copy and paste. Network PC2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I do know I mixed up 6, so 6 and 8. Okay, so then I'm going to rearrange this one. Actually, I'm going to resize this box real quick, just so it actually fits in here. There you go. And then I'm also going to bring this box down a little bit and bring it over. Sure. Whatever. Alright. We are going to delete this because we don't need subnet 2. And we are going to change this to A. And move it into the box. And we'll bring network 3's name down here also. Server network 3. We'll put the switch in the middle-ish. Sure. And printer down here. And then the 5 PCs. Okay. And we'll connect those also. Now, you don't have to make everything look like this. This is just for me. All you're doing really is just combining subnetwork 1 and 2 to make them together into one network. But I just like to have mine, I guess, look pretty. Alright, so there's that. Then we are going to want to add a router, which would be PT router. And we are going to connect those together with a crossover from the server network 3 to the router 0 on port 00. Now, let's see, I'm going to move this name over here, only you'll see in a bit why. Cross or straight through from the router port 1 to the switch, which I wish it was on port 0 or 1, but whatever, I'll put it on port 24. You are going to want a serial DCE cable next to connect where is it? This subnet router, which let me actually make these just a tad bit bigger. Alright. that up. Move this up. Alright. Drag that up. And that. Then I'm going to drag this in here. Okay. I am going to create my own box for this. Now, you don't have to, but this is just for my needs, so. Yeah. Nope, delete that. And drag those in here. Alright, so serial DCE is going to go from here on serial port 3 to here on port 2. Sorry. Excuse me. Let's see. Now, let's see. Okay, 100. I'm going to change that to 101. Go through every single one of your PCA computers and switch the IP addresses to whatever IP address you prefer. I recommend at least keeping the 192.168.1, and then after that is up to your liking. I'm just gonna go through and change them all real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, and PC8. Make sure you are putting the default gateway as 192.168.1.1, then clicking on your Ethernet port, and then 192.168.1. Whatever you chose for the last numbers you wanted. But just make sure the default gateway is set to that for your network A. So I need to change this one. Pretty sure I did 6. Yep. And PC4 is good. Alright. And then you could just check by hovering over if you would prefer. I'm going to go ahead and set up the RIP, which we could remove that one. And let's see. So on this router, we're going to go ahead and click on the serial 3 port, set up a IP of 20.0.0.1. That'll be good for that one. New one, which is router 0, which I'm gonna go ahead and rename, but just so it's easier for you guys to understand right now, go into serial 2, 20.20 or 20.0.0.2. As we set this one to .1, that would be our reason why. And then server router, that is on port 2, so we want that on point 2, 10.0.0.2. Okay. And then, let's see. That's on port 2. That's fine. Okay. Just make sure your port 2 is set on 10.0.0.1 and your port 3 serial is on the 20 that we set up. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and create static routing. So let's see. Oh, sorry. Let's do RIP first. So in router 0, we are adding in 20.0.0.0. Add that 192.168.1. Or 10.0, sorry. And we will get to those IPs in a moment of why those ones are that. And 11.0. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing on subnet router. Remove the 5.0 IP. Keep that one. Just add in 20.0.0.0. Okay. And I did add it into here just in case. And then the 192.168.11.0 and 10. Okay. When you go into here for your port 2 under serial, make sure you just turn it on, or you could click on CLI and just type in no shutdown. That is up to you. Gonna go on this one. Make sure that is on. And that's on because you can see it has traffic. Alright. So, let me go ahead and set these IP addresses. Just like I did this one, I'm just going to go from 101 to 192.168.10 this time, and then dot whatever you choose. Keep the DNS server here and your default gateway. So let me just make sure. Okay. So it's going to be PC1. I'm just going to go ahead and change these names quick just so I don't get confused myself. Okay. Default gateway is not that. It's 192.168.10.1. DNS could stay the same. Change your IP address. PC3. 192.168.11.254 is your DNS server for your server network 3. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I actually forgot to change the IP address of it. So let me go back into PC3. Yeah. 3 and then PC network 5. 192.168.11.254. And then PC5. Alright. Now, let's see. That is on port 1. Okay. Default 192.168.10.1 subnet mask. Okay. And just turn on that port, and that should power up this line. Port 0, which your server network 3 is going to be, just configure it in here. Default gateway is that. DNS server 92.168.11.254. And then on here, that is your IP address. Okay. And let's just put that in. And turn on that port. Alright, now let's see if we try to send a message from here to here, and it failed. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. We're not done yet. We also need to set up the static routing. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the server router. And that is, we're actually going to remove this one first. 192.168.11.0, and we're going to mask that with 255.255.255.0, and the next hop is going to be 10.0.0.1. Add that. Okay. And we also want 10.0 at for the next one. Alright, so that's good with that. Let's move over to the subnet router. Static 192.168.10.0 255.255.0 with 20.0.0.2, and this is what we set up previously on the serials, as you see here. That's the only reason I'm setting these up now. And then 11. Okay, and then finally network 3's router. So 192.168.1.0 255.255.0. Next hop is 20.0.0.1 and that, and then the main router's IP address is lost. 16.1.0, and that hop is the same. Alright, so let's see if I send from here to here. Failed. Alright, it's still fine. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that little cut there. I did pause on the recording software only because I realized I forgot to configure the IP for this computer, and that's the test I was trying to send it from. So when I try to send a message from PC network A to, say, PC network 3, at the bottom we can see it failed. It's great. But I was able to send it to, let's see, to 104. So should pass for this one. Let me see. Oh. So let's just make sure. 3, 2. Alright, so failed to those two. And failed to that. But successful to that. So let's see what I did wrong. No 4, no 3, 10.1. It's not successful. But why is network 1? Now it passed. Okay. That's great. Let's see if the simulation will run. Successful. Let's just see if these will all pass. I am going to pause the video again, just to wait until this is over so you guys aren't waiting for however long it takes, and it will cut right back into after it's done. Be right back. Okay, and they are all successful. Alright, so that's it. Let me just double check. IP networking, subnets, mask. Yep. So just go ahead and explain this in a Word document included with your screenshots here of everything you did, and then you're all set. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and good luck.